can show you the world.
Morning.
What you doing?
Got my magic carpet, haven't I? I'm gonna have to be magic to fix this.
Oh dear.
If we weren't having fun at work, we'd not.
We'd be crying somewhere.
Yeah. Smash through the intro and we'll see if we can get the old rusty girl undressed.
And we're back
We are
in Reality Corner.
in realism realm. I can't remember where we picked up on this last, but basically we pulled a late night one night, obviously, to get the body off. I start in one corner because it wasn't the sort of video where you could film it, because in all honesty it was brutal. Yeah. So it's 9:30. We are 3.5 hours in, and it's starting to look no different. Doors are off.
Starting to lift.
We've cut the sealant all the way around. It's that thick. So we've done that. We've got it down the door trims. So we've had to take inside panels off, dash out. It's obviously bonded all the way around here, all the way over top of bulkhead, under the heater box, through this area, down the side. You can see where we've done that, and then down this side. So we're now up to here. So we've got to do, there's obviously a bead sealant here now that we need to get, and then it'll lift up. And then the body should lift off. And you can see it's going. If I go to the front, it's, yeah, a train wreck would have been more informative than doing a video on how to take the body off. So I thought we'd get the body off and then I could show you what you got to do. So mechanically, the windscreen came out. We had to take the dash out. So the dash is held in on these little V's. And like everything's nut and bolted. So we had to take the center console out, the gear knob out, the heater panel out. I mean, that's it. So there's some cables there that go in the front of the heater box. There's the temperature control solenoid underneath, which is that one. So that's what turns the flap on and off underneath. The control valve, then obviously the motor and the positioning flap. We've got the heater box out. We got the dash binnacle out, and then we slid the dash out as one unit. Which was all right, but it's just like,
It's a crazy mess of wires in that.
shit, mate.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what I was going to show you. So like that stuff's obviously what's been done in the factory, and then someone's spliced that wire in, and then where were the other ones we found? All of a sudden, that's been spliced in. So it's just a bit higgledy-piggledy. That was a stereo, so that was something else. It had a big like tracker box in it, so we've got rid of that. So we have got to pull the loom out completely. If I get the box, those valves. It's got a central locking module sat here, which is this little module here, but then little bits like what the hell is that? 2 frayed wires. So the loom passes through the bulkhead, and it obviously can't pass through the bulkhead that way because there's a bloody great fuse box.
Yep.
So now we need to come this way and thread the loom out this way. So I've got one section already out, ready to come through, and then we've got another bit that goes through the center channel here. so we'll have to pull a loom out, but I'm going to re-loom it anyway. Once we had all that out, and then we had like the aircon pipes and coolant pipes that came through this area, and we had the heat box out of here, then we had 2 screws here, 3 screws here. There's this one panel that does this complete infill.
Yep.
So it's like so it looks a little bit like a sickle, and you can see here that it's all screwed in.
Yep.
And riveted in.
So they came out really easily.
Yeah, it wasn't great. So we had that out, because that is like the arch cut in. I had to then get this panel out. So on one side, there's thread certs in the top for the 3 bolts that hold the top of the cover in here. It sits in 2 little studs down the bottom, and then you can see how much sealant holds it on. There are 2 screws that hold it on as well, which are shrouded by this trim. So we've got that trim off, got the 2 screws out here, got the side repeater light out, and then literally with blades, and so I broke so many knives it was unreal to get those trims off. Then the door comes out, so you can get on the hinge plates for the door, and we just cut the door wiring. So there's 2 wires for the central locking solenoid and 2 wires for the door speaker, and we just cut the wire in because again it's going to be redone. Lift the door off, because I think you spent about 2 hours stripping one door, didn't you?
Yeah, they were a nightmare to get off. Yeah, horrid. Whoever came up with that design needs to be shot. It wasn't good.
Makes you think you should just perspex the bloody windows and put little slidey hatches in.
Butterfly nuts on the back of them. Yeah.
So the second you start getting them loose, they just wrap there, or you can't undo them.
Yeah.
Once you have the door out, you could then get on these screws. So you can see all these round here. So we've got those out.
How many screws?
Yeah. So this is obviously both sides. Then there's sealant between the frame. Obviously this will give it away, but you can see how much it moves. So you had sealant from here all the way round to here. So we had to take the inner sill trims off, the back B-pillar trims off. We had to peel the carpet off the rear bulkhead.
It's covered in ginger pubes.
It is, yeah.
What is that?
Well, they're itchy. If nothing else, stood in the shower for like an hour with a scrubbing brush afterwards, trying to scrub them off me. So we took all the trims off the centre console, sent the light out, pulled the carpet off the back. There's no screws that hold this back seal on. We just had to get a knife through it. So when you come here, we had some screws up in there holding that trim panel on.
Yeah.
We had some screws, one there, and some screws along the centre. So some of them snapped and some of them were fine, but we had to cut the sealant. Then of course where the ones that had snapped, they'd left the screw thread protruding, so we couldn't get a knife all the way through it, but that was horrible as well.
That
was
probably
just a
one of the
nightmare.
worst bits on it.
So we've got all them undone, and obviously we're starting in one corner, and it's like trying to get a windscreen out. You got to start in one place, get your knife through, and then literally work around the bloody car.
Yeah.
So again, same here. You can see the screw holes. We had screw holes up here that was under this heat shieldy trim pad stuff. So we had to peel all that back and go hunting for those. We had some screw trims up in here, and we had sealant down the back of the tub, which we had to get on. And then the same this side to that side, so there's a door out, inner trim panel off, outer trim panel off, door off, cut the loom, sorted. Then there was no screws here, but that's quite a thick area to get and you can see the rust. Look, when we lift it off, I'll show you more. Because this isn't the first time we've had it off, we've had to get it off.
Yeah.
Which I have got on video the first time we lifted it off. But because you're lifting it, cutting, and there's 3 of us juggling all around. There's a screw here through the top of goes through like the top of the pillar box, through the top of the pedal box, sorry. And we had to get that one out. And that was pretty much there, and we thought we had it loose all the way around, didn't we? And then it was just a case of lifting it off. So
was this a team effort?
This is a team effort.
The dream team.
Me, Mitch and Matt. Carl removed himself from a situation, it was too real for him.
Yes.
No, he had a day out. He was off that day, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was off.
Yeah.
He timed that to perfection.
Yeah, he pretty much did. I was like, do you want to come in, we'll have chicken, beers, and you can help? He went, not really.
Hang about.
Yeah.
Talking to the devil.
Hey, I said the day where we were like, oh, we're going to take the body off for Noble, and it was your day off.
Oh yeah,
I was like, do you want to come in and help? And
sorry,
he was
I'm poorly. I can't come in.
like, no, not really. No, not really. And then, yeah, lifted it off. And then when we lifted it off, it got worse.
Oh.
Should we have a lift?
Right, we're going to lift it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Lift it.
To me then. There she is.
So it's off.
And now look.
And now look. Look at the rust.
Oh.
That is not even the best bit. But rest of it is spot on.
Structurally really sound. Can't say that today.
No.
Ish.
Ish.
Yeah.
Soundish.
Yeah. So, what's the next stage then?
Keep stripping.
Yeah?
We're not finished yet. Yeah, tank out. So basically every aluminium panel's got to come off because the body's gone off to get dipped. So we've got to strip the front, which I think we'll just do in a minute now. I need to get the rack off.
When you say dipped, explain the process.
So we drop the chassis off to a company. They'll drill relief holes. Most of them they won't need to because there's lots of holes. They'll drill relief holes so that the fluid that gets into the rail can get back out, but they'll essentially submerge the whole chassis in a bath that will strip away all the paint, all the corrosion, all the nastiness. Then they'll take it out, they'll neutralize it, and then they'll drop it in another tank that's almost like primer, or it's, I don't know the exact word for it, to stop it corroding, but to allow us to do work. Because I need to do a load of repairs. And I spoke to her and I said, I've got to do loads of repairs. She's like, there's no point doing anything because you're going to do all those repairs with it like it is. You're going to send it to us, we're going to dip it, and then we're going to find areas like that where it blows through. She's like, let's dip it, let's prepare it, you have it back, do all your repair work, do the modifications you need to do, then they'll have it back, then they'll dip it again, and then they'll use the electrolysis process to like protect it, because I'm not going to powder coat it.
Electrolysis, isn't that what ladies use to remove their unwanted hair?
I don't know. Actually, no. Sounds fancy. They don't go and get it powder coated. Yeah, because I can't just... there's more work to be done yet.
Yeah.
Because we need to modify, obviously the front frame needs changing. I need to repair that because that's pretty major, being within the mounting point it is. So, well, suspension mounting point.
That ain't going to get an MOT,
MOT
is
felt,
it?
yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. So we've got to repair that.
Yeah.
The column, sorry, the steering rack I've got to send off and get it converted so it's not a power steering column. I'm going to convert it to manual. We're going to run a Corsa steering column because it's electronic.
Yep.
So it gets away with power steering pump, the pipe work, the cooler on the front. I want to change the pedal box because I want to have brake bias, front and rear.
Yep.
But I can't decide whether I want to dump the servo and rely on an ABS module. So I can't decide whether to use Bosch Motorsport or like the Thieves unit off the TCR cars. So Ryan at Darkside's been really great, sort of giving us pointers on bits and pieces that they run on their race cars.
Okay, cool.
So he's like, the Thieves unit they use is brilliant, and it's like a fraction of the cost of the Bosch Motorsport stuff. They can map it, they can do what they want. It takes all the sensors inboard and then can put it on a CAN bus. Because I don't think I want a servo. Like, you can't really run a servo and brake bias. You can run a bleed on the rear axle. Sorry.
Bless you.
Which is essentially a restrictor. But when you do that, you can't run any more pressure than what a standard cylinder would run.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So say a standard cylinder is 70-30, with a restrictor on a rear axle, you can't run any more than 70-30.
Yeah.
You could run 90-10, but you can't go to 50-50 split. So I want to put a pedal box in it with a proper split on it, and if I'm going to put a pedal box in it, then I'll put ABS on it so that then I can use the ABS unit to bolster the servo being missing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to need a clutch because I'm going to change the gearbox. So I've been chatting with Eddie, who's put a DQ 500 in his, but I'm going to do a DQ 250, which is like gearbox out of a Golf R.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm going to go flat
That's
pedals.
big news. Right.
So again, Ryan sorted me out a gearbox. Ryan at Darkside sorted me out a gearbox. It's already got a diff in it. The adapter plate's already kind of done, and then we can mock it up. I've obviously got a spare block, so I can put an engine mount on a spare block. I can mount it to the gearbox, and then we can start modifying the rear frame. Everybody said, oh, go DQ 500. They're bloody heavy. I can't show you the car, but I can show you a DQ 500. That's the DQ 500. So that's a big old unit.
That is a big old unit.
It is a big old unit. You've also then got to run an adapter plate to take the bevel box off, because the DQ 500 is mainly only found in four-wheel drive cars.
Yeah.
Whereas the DQ 250 is a tiny little thing.
Yeah.
So if you think the problem we've got is, if you remember the engine mount hung in and over, yeah, I've got a chassis leg here. Sorry, I've got a suspension arm here.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden I'm restricted by my height and my width of my engine. So if I can keep my gearbox end case inside that arm, then I'm laughing. We can modify the arm, but the guys who did the 250, the 500, they had to redo all this corner.
Surely you got the weight implications as well.
And it's
You wanna keep the
weighty.
weight down on
Yes,
this.
I don't really want to go over 500 horsepower. So 450, 500 horsepower is fine.
Yeah.
And I want flappy paddles, mate. Because I was chatting to Dave at DTB, and he said a 500 horsepower, he's driven a 500 horsepower manual, and he's driven a 500 horsepower with a DCT in, and he goes, it feels like a 600 horsepower car. Because it's relentless, it doesn't, you haven't got a bop, dunk, dunk, boom. You just pull on paddles. And it's the one thing I always thought that would hinder lap time.
Yeah.
So.
That's going to be a cool video, putting all that together.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Still, I think it's the easiest solution, because like some of the race car guys use Hollingers,
Yeah.
and they're a lot of money, but then there'll be a bastard on the road,
Yeah.
because they're straight cut gears and all that
This
sort of mess.
is a road cut at the end of the day
Yeah.
that you can use on track.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to turn it too racy,
Yeah.
so I think we get some spanners out, mate, and start taking some bits off.
Do a bit.
Do a bit. Be all right. What's the worst that can go wrong? Can't break it anymore.
What if it caught fire?
Rust isn't flammable.
I could make it flammable.
You could quite easily.
Yeah, I could make it flammable. But do you like the Alcantara cage?
What?
You come up with a crazy idea, didn't you?
Yeah, I would personally paint it. I like a cage to be shown.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd paint whatever colour you're going with the car and then transition to another colour inside.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that look cool.
Well, I want to keep the car blue because I really like
I
the
would
blue.
go like a fluorescent orange then, something like that. A wild colour.
Let me know what you think.
Yeah.
White is no good.
Yeah.
It'd be filthy.
Something bright so you can see it. I like that. I think it looks good.
There we go.
Let us know what you think,
That's me.
because Alcantara cage. I mean, it's all right inside, but I wouldn't do it again.
It's a bit monkey, isn't it?
Yeah. We'd have to reupholster the inside, which I can get done. I'm going to get Josh to sort the chassis out, or sorry, sort the body out. So I've got to get the rear windows taken out, and then he can prep the frame. Then really, sorry, prep the body. I've got the front nose cone, so we need to do the lights, fit the lights, and then that's done. I think we need to do the holes for the clamshell as well. Actually, I don't know. Lots to be done. That's the last thing, but I'm going to keep it standard colour, I think.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I can't decide on what to do is whether to change the hubs, like run a different hub.
To give yourself what?
One is
wheels.
option on brakes, 2 is option on wheels. So this all comes around because I've got a full set of carbon ceramics off McLaren. Calipers, discs,
Just
brake
drop that one in
pads.
there.
Yeah. And I can't, so if I do that, can I make the hub flange So my initial thought was R8 brakes all round,
Yeah.
and then get the flanges, because the wheel bearings bolt to the hubs, which don't matter, but it means you can get the flanges. Now the reason I wanted to change the hub flange was because I'm stuck to a 4-bolt wheel. That makes
Pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're stuck to that. You can't change it.
Yeah.
I don't want to run spacers or any of that crap. So can I make a conventional 112 PCD 5-stud pattern hub or flange fit my existing hubs? The reason I also thought about converting off hubs as well is I'm going to have to machine all 4 and come up with fixings for wheel speed sensors.
Yeah.
Whereas if I could, for example, make R8 ones work, which I don't think will for the fronts will work because they're too tall. If I could make like an R8 one work or a McLaren one work, then it's already there. They've already got wheel speed sensors, everything. You could just drop an assembly on. So I don't know. I'm in an R-ins about that first.
But there's some exciting plans in the pipeline.
Sort of. Need to get to the bottom of this first.
You need to finish your resto first.
So we just need to keep undoing crap.
Yeah.
Take the panels off.
And I don't want to be all clickbaity with thumbnails and things, but every time we do say, it got worse, it really
genuinely has got worse, Stab. I lift the body off and there's a hole.
There it is.
And the sealant on the thing, honestly, underneath it, when we'd finished, it was in the middle like this. And we'd done about 11 o'clock at night, and look at it, mate. We haven't put that there.
Yeah. That is not YouTube BS. That's genuine noble rust.
Joking, innit?
Yeah. Right. It's the gift that keeps on giving, mate.
Honestly.
Right, should we get some...
Should we get some tools out? I tell you what though, right? The guys who watch this, who own Nobles, who's the longest that's had their Noble? And is their car this bad? Have I just bought one that's been looked after by someone who doesn't give a shit?
Yeah.
Or is everybody battling this on their cars?
I bet a lot of people don't know because they can't see it.
No, but even everything else is crap.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They've painted hammerite. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've just painted over gash.
Didn't we have duvet around the back section as well?
Yeah. That is still a worry, if I'm honest.
Okay, well, before the realism kicks into...
Let's just start doing bits.
Let's do it.
And we whistle while we work.
So what stage are you at with the Evo repair then, Matt?
So parts are here now. They've all turned up.
Yeah.
Now we got to send my head off to go get the valves matched. Is that right?
Seats cut.
Seats cut. So yeah, once that's done, then we can basically start chucking it back together.
Happy days.
So
Did I hear a rumour
hopefully-
you were looking at bigger turbos?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in two minds. I'm very much, do I keep it and go crazy with it, or do I sell it? And I've got something else. So I got 2 cars in mind, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Hard one.
It's cars, isn't it? Things change
Sell
every
it.
week. Rick says sell it.
Tell it.
Let us know in the
But-
comments what you think.
I know if I sell it and I want another one, it's going to be hard to find a nice example like that because they're far and few now. You either get a complete rust bucket, rotten one, or something nice.
Yeah.
So it's hard. I don't know. But at the same time, I would like
But when you only ever
a nice daily because I've got all these nice cars. I've got my track car, I've got the Evo, and I barely use them.
Yeah.
And then I drive around in a £500 dinger. I'm like, that barely starts. I'm like, I could kind of do with a decent car.
Alright. Everything being removed is for sale, so if you're a Noble owner, let me know what you need. I'll get you hooked up.
You're like a Noble parts pusher.
Yeah. If anybody needs some dust.
Genuine OEM.
I mean, ow! Sorry, that is a rip-off of matey and what's his name? Out of 539 Restoration does that all the time. He's hilarious, that bloke.
What was that?
M539 Restorations,
Oh,
the
yes.
BM guy.
I was watching that the other day.
So funny.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm calm.
I'll be lying in bed watching it because his stuff is really, really interesting. And he'll do exactly that, and Kate will be pissing herself. Like, he'll pull a coolant hose off and get showered in coolant, and you'll just go, ah!
But it sounds much better with his German accent.
Yeah. Yeah. How did they get that in there?
How do you get in there?
That's a big bit, and and it don't fit in the hole. Honestly.
Voodoo.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
Lovely.
You know when you go to breakers yards and they've got everything out with a gas axe?
Yeah.
This is kind of like this car.
So at the moment, I don't know about your newsfeed, but mine is full of everybody going, I'm in SEMA!
Yeah, so anybody who is in SEMA, I've just unfriended them.
That's where I'm going wrong.
We do need to go to SEMA.
We do.
Although I think I would just get there and be ultimate Carl mode. Boring, boring, boring.
Yeah.
Boring.
I think we should do a works trip there next
Oh
year.
yeah, right.
Business class, of course.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I tell you what, you guys start doing overtime for free for a little while and we'll do that. I knew he would say that. Might not be a bad shout doing something along those lines. Because it is thousands, mate. It's so much money to go.
I think though we could win it all back.
Do?
With what? Win it all back with what?
Company car.
I think if we were going to do it, you'd want to fly to LA or something like that, and then road trip to
This
Vegas.
just feels like it's getting dearer and dearer. I'm trying to sort out a Nürburgring trip next year.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've got that in a pipeline. I think we're trying to sort 2 days out of Coombe.
Yep.
So we'll have our own track day again, but I'm trying to do 2 days.
The Wiltshire Ring.
The Wiltshire Ring.
Might actually have a car this year.
Me?
Yeah.
Doubt it. Sat there the other day thinking, what am I gonna do? Is that steering rack bolt?
Yeah, the level of rust is just completely filled with
Anyone
threads.
want a pedal?
Mate, pedal's just gone. There we go. That'll be up for sale.
Bit of wiring loom.
It's a Sparko pedal.
No, it's a Sparko end bit. The pedal is a
Bit of rusty pig
looks
iron.
like an IKEA foot bracket.
So how does this feel then? So daily you guys work on some of the most highly engineered, amazing supercars that money can buy. And then you go from something like that to this.
I really struggle with this stuff. I really struggle with rust.
Yeah.
Because I'm not good at fabricating.
Yeah.
It's out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like doing bodywork. I don't like doing rust. I don't like doing frame because it's out of my comfort zone. It's not what I do.
Yeah. But you have no control over this as well. You like to know what.
I did have control over it, Dav. The control was not hitting bid.
It was before I was here, so
Yeah. You can't really.
yeah, can't blame me.
Well, you may have offered some advice at the time if you were.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, that would be a great project.
Well, everybody's had something that's deemed their life's work. I thought my business was mine. Nope, it's this.
It's going to be your memoir, Noble Intentions or something, isn't it?
I'm going to absolutely send it over the wall the first time I drive it as well, don't I?
Yeah.
It's just written
That's what's gonna happen.
It's just written in the stars.
Yeah.
And a bend the bastard.
Or it's going to be so mint you won't drive it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is that.
Now you're saying that as if I'm going to get it finished.
You see, You are like the yin to Carl's yang.
Yep. Positivity.
Mr. Positive.
Positivity.
The only one here with a working car, track car.
Yeah.
Well, cars do work. Hoovered it in the dark last night, he did.
Did he?
Yeah. Sat outside and hoovered his car in the dark.
Okay.
Yeah. I love a good rack. Yes. The steering column boot that is hacked up and glued on. Honestly. Look, that's a cable tie, right? That is peeled, that is like been painted on.
Painted.
He has. He hadn't taken it off to paint the chassis, he's just painted it.
So in a previous life,
Yeah.
you were working for Ferrari.
Yeah, 10 years at Ferrari. So yeah, kind of like to think I know my way around them a little bit. Yeah. So
What's the... Okay, let's go with the obvious one then. What's the most expensive car you've worked on?
This.
So the old classic bits is where the big money's at with Ferrari currently. I was more of the newer stuff. So when like LaFerrari came out, I was at the start of my apprenticeship. So with my mentor back then, we'd done quite a few of those.
Who was your mentor?
A lad called James Head.
Oh no, I
So-
don't know James.
So he was one of the first techs to be chosen to like learn all of the LaFerrari system. So I was lucky enough to be involved with a few bits of that. Cool. And then mainly with like 458 onwards is my niche as such.
Sure.
So 458, 488, moving forward 812. I'm very well known on that sort of stuff. 355 as well. I used to do basically all of the 355s that came into
You used to do a lot of
dealership.
challenge car stuff.
A lot of challenge racing. So I've known my fair bit about Ferrari. So
any stories from when you were working there? Any famous people you met? Anybody you can talk about? Anything that...
yeah, there's quite a lot of people that used to come in. Obviously, I don't know how much I can say. But like famous people, so certain Top Gear presenters came in quite a lot. They've got a good client base as such. So.
Love it's a pretty big for that. Isn't it? Like,
They're very
look after loads of YouTubers and.
Yeah, there's always every week there's someone coming in who is like, oh, I know him off of TV kind of thing. So no, it's good.
Watch him on TikTok.
Something like an F40 then?
Yes.
What's the deal? Isn't that with the fuel tank that's an issue? With
Yeah,
that?
so I've done a few of those. F40 fuel tank replacements.
They're ATL tanks, isn't they?
Yeah,
Bag
so
tanks.
they're bags, and then you've got, I think there's something like 12 pieces of foam you've got to fit inside the bags. So it's kind of like a big Jenga game. That's a nice job to do though. I think it's, I can't remember off the top of my head, it's like 10 years or 15 years.
10 years for ATL tanks.
Is a replacement for them.
Yeah.
So they got like FIA stamps for dates on them, same as like a bucket seat and harnesses.
Sure.
So a lot of the customers keep up to date with them. There are a few cars which are just left in collections that don't get looked after, but then at the same time they're not being used. They literally...
Maybe that's what we need to buy. Maybe that's it.
What, an F40?
An F40 with outdated bag tanks.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the next that's what we need to do. Find an F40 customer who wants to change their bag tanks. We'll do a video on it. It was a long wait off ATL for tanks, though, wasn't there? It's like a year-long wait.
Yeah.
Because obviously they do they're all Formula 1 tanks. So ATL, a massive company in Milton Keynes. So all the foam we put in our race tanks, everything, that's all from ATL.
Yeah.
I don't know why they went.
Because I think the F40 was more of like a race car as such, more than a road going car. So obviously having the foam and bag tanks, you stop a lot of weight inertia from side to side. So that was a big help with the handling of the vehicle.
They're not multiple pickups though, are they?
You've got a pickup in each tank.
In each tank,
in
yeah.
each
But it's
tank,
not like race tanks where they have like 5 lift pumps. They normally have one.
No.
Normally have like one in each corner, don't they, and one in the centre.
Yeah. Yeah, just the standard 2. But yeah, they're cool. F40s are nice.
Yeah,
F50s.
That's my favourite car.
I never really got along with F50s. I couldn't fit in them. my knees were always like hitting the dashboard. I sat all the way back and it's like, yeah, this was tight.
Yeah.
My favourite Ferrari probably if I could get one 458 Speciale.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect, because you've got the noise, you've got enough power, you can use it all the time. I think the turbo stuff now is getting so fast, it's hard to use it 100%.
Yeah.
And also the noise is gone, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. As soon as you put a turbo on it, it's like a silencer basically.
Yeah.
So
Speciale is your favourite, is it?
yeah, I think that's, if I could ever have one, that would be my go-to. Usable power. I like that hardcore road setup. So for me, that would be the go-to. I like working on them. They're
They
nice to
don't
work
have
onto.
the inlet manifold problems like the Italians and that do they? They don't have the
Not as
crossover-
common. So the Italias are fairly common for the flap sticking.
crossover valves. Yeah.
The Speciale's got a full carbon intake manifold. That's nice. There's essentially the chassis is the same, but everything else bolted to the car's very different.
Yeah.
No carpets on the floor, all of that sort of stuff. Very
That's what I said.
race car-y as
When
such.
they've done the floor for this, because they're doing carbon floor, green sealant, mate.
Yeah.
F40 sealant.
Near enough an F40 then. Just need a bit of carbon weave and we're
It's
away.
cost me as much money and broken my heart as much as an F40 would.
Yeah.
Right, I think if we take these two off,
Yep.
which hold the top of the rack, and then we can take that panel out. Yeah, because a lad who worked with you, Gary
Gary Moore.
was he was the guy I worked with when I started my apprenticeship at Mercedes.
Yeah, so Gary was my mentor on my last year of my apprenticeship.
Right, okay.
So yeah, he got the good side of me as such. So he
Yeah.
got when I was quite refined and be able to get work done quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could benefit off of that as such. It's always when you start the apprenticeship is when it's like,
I got locked in a puncher tank on the third day of my apprenticeship.
yeah, you know Scotty, he filled my pockets up with water.
Did he?
So he done me there. Because I always had my phone in my pockets back then, and
Yeah.
I was like, he was like, you're always on your phone, and filled my pockets up with water.
Yeah.
So he done me there. Luckily it didn't break my phone, otherwise. Yeah, I
What was the worst thing that happened to you? What was the worst hazing you had then?
that was pretty much it, really.
Was it?
I'm a big lad. What
What are they going to do?
Yeah, what are they going to do, you know?
What about you?
Come in, Phil.
What was the worst thing that happened to you in your apprenticeship?
Same really, nothing. I was bigger than everyone else and they wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, I'm bigger than you, leave me alone.
And everyone was scared of getting sacked. You can't do anything nowadays.
Yeah, now the rules have changed, yeah.
What about you?
Come over. Come on.
So he's getting hazed now.
He's not even qualified.
Yeah, it's happening now.
It is. It's like. Third day in, Gary locked me in a puncher tank full of water for all the tea break, and they locked me in that because I was gobby. Because you come out of school, don't you? Sort of, and then you overcompensate that when you go into apprenticeship. I had a broom put up my sleeves and hung on an engine crane.
Yeah.
They greased my bollocks. Squirted grease all down my pants. Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't get away with that now, there's too much.
No. What else? Jimmy, lovingly, so James, who comes in here, who's now a policeman, lovingly was a bastard to me. So I first got a scooter, and he put it in a stillage in parts and used a forklift to put it up in the parts department. He put like a 25 kilo, when I first got it, it had a top box on the back, and he put like a 25 kilo battery in it, and I got halfway home, stopped at the lights and fell over and realised they put a battery in the back of it.
And you're good mates now.
I'm good, yeah. Oh mate, because it was him, a lad called Adam, is a young lad who was their apprentice called Matty, and another lad called Glenn. And they were all about the same age, so early 20s. I was like 16, and they were just, how them four kept their jobs, I have no idea, because all they did was fuck around.
Yeah.
Like they were carnage, them four. I worked with Miffy, who you know, and Richard Kirk. And then Chunk was another lad. Darren Richardson was Curly, so he's now running his own garage up Crickgate Way.
I know Darren.
Who was at Ferrari for a while. So Darren was mint. He was a couple of years older than me.
Yeah.
Oh mate, they were bastards to me. Phil Colin's the reason I am like I am now. He battered shit out of me, but everything I know is because of him. Like, because he worked on all the old stuff. But yeah, you wouldn't get away with any of that now.
Oh no, definitely
God
not.
alive.
Yeah.
The other side of it is, could you imagine if Callum come home and said someone had done that to him? Kate would knife them. They'd be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it kind of makes you to who you are, though.
This is the problem
That's
now.
Now what I feel is like you can't say boo to anyone
No.
because
Everybody's
it's
scared of what's
going to be drama.
Yeah.
Is it bullying? Is it character building? What is it?
Right, turn me into what I was. I don't look back at it now and sort of think.
Yeah, you just laugh it off.
Yeah.
Just get on with it. Just
I think it's.
can't take it to heart.
I never took it as it never got me as bullying. It was just what you had to go through.
It's a trade thing as well, though. Do you not
Yeah,
think?
it's the same with builders and stuff.
Like, you wouldn't get this like in an office. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
Like when I left, so I basically lost my job at Mercedes. I finished my apprenticeship and I lost my job. I put an A-class on this roof, so I got sacked, and I went to work for SEAT at Swindon Automobiles, and that was all right. I was just kind of left to get on there. I met some good mates there, like Lawrence, Craig Watts, who ended up working for another mate, Chris, a couple of other lads as well. And then not much sort of happened there. And then I used to mess around a little bit. Then I went to work at Volkswagen in Swindon. So that was Chris Fry was an apprentice. There was 2 other apprentices that were useless, and we used to abuse them. But nobody abused Fry because he was massive. Like, he was a Vin Diesel wannabe. He used to drive around in a black Colt in a white vest, and he was huge. He had massive arms, so no one used to fuck around him. But the other 2 were useless. We used to give them shit. But it wasn't nasty there. It was like the stuff we used to do. So there was Jeff was Master Tech. He's still there now. Gower was a lad as well. And when I first started there, Gower was a bastard to me. He didn't like me. And now we got to know each other, and he's mint. We got so close when I worked there, and that was the best place I've ever worked. And we had a police Touareg in that the boys had done some work on. And I was working on an R32 Mark V, and we used to go down to anchor, down the bottom, and turn round, and I come back, and I was probably going quicker than I should have been in a 30.
And they pulled you.
And they pulled out behind me in this Touareg with the lights on. Bearing in mind, this is 20 years ago, right? You still would have got for messing around with lights. And they come screaming out behind me from anchor with their lights on. I realised who it was. So we did a legal high-speed pursuit down Great Western Way. Oh, bloody hell, man. How can that be rounding? Yes, the match. I like you. I like you. Right, that's off. I don't know what it is, but it's off.
It's off. And we have the new pile of misery down here.
Poor Dave from DTB. I'm just going to send him photos of bits going, I need one of these.
Yeah. What have you found?
Why have I taken a screw out and that's leaking out the frame rail? I've taken a screw out of the frame rail and there's water
Coming down here.
coming out of the frame rail. Honest to God.
This car's not even been outside for like a year.
Should have dried by now.
Are you keeping that loom or are you binning the loom?
No, we are going to bin it, but I don't want to cut it.
You don't want to cut it?
Because it could be useful for someone else.
Yeah.
You're always thinking of people, Rick.
I am.
I like it.
Such a kind boy.
How many of these are on the work left?
Is it Fiesta rare because all of them are in scrapyards? Yeah,
That's what it should be.
where they should be. Always look on the bright side of life. There we are.
Beautiful.
I've taken the gear linkage out, the 3 bolts here. I don't think that's very cool.
It's a bit wibbly wobbly.
It is, isn't it? It's a bit not quite very Travis Pastrana-y. But why does that look like it's... You got a hammer there, mate? It is.
Mint.
How shit was that to start with that someone's literally just hacksawed a plate out?
Yeah, is that flimsy?
Right. something else to fix.
Any thoughts, Carl?
Penny, throw your thoughts.
I'm done.
Just getting worse now.
It's got to be about tea time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tea time. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Misery on a Monday.
We've covered everything though.
We're getting there. We're getting there. I think get it on a ramp now. If Matt gets that panel off, then 1, 2, 3, 4. They need to come out nicely because I don't want to have to replace those because they are pretty tidy to be fair.
Yep.
Then it's just a case of pulling the tank out the bottom, pulling the engine mounts out and a bit of cabling, and we're nearly stripped. So we just need to go round look and make sure all these little brackety pieces are done. That's out, engine mounts are out.
Yeah.
But we're nearly there.
Good stuff.
So
Yeah.
join us next week on another episode of Does it get worse before it gets better? No, we're nearly there. Can it get any worse after we've stripped the engine? We know we're getting rid of the gearbox. We've stripped the body. Can't find much worse, can we? Well, challenge accepted.
We got nothing left.
If anybody wants some noble bits, hit me up.
Just bring a brush and a pan to scoop them into you.
Loom will go. Yeah, the loom will go. Gearbox will be for sale. The wheels are for sale. Yeah,
Cars for sale.
cars for sale. All right,
Carl's for sale.
cars for sale.
That's fine. I'll go.
Free
of charge.
Yeah, free of charge. Free of charge, my friend. Thought of anything interesting? How does spiders get in there? How does spider get in there? That's completely sealed.
Must have been in there since 2002.
Maybe it's a factory fitted spider.
South African car, so they might be deadly diamondbacks or something weird. Look, like, that hasn't even touched, that bit of sealant. It's not like got squishied. All that's holding this car together is sealant.
Yeah.
Right. Smash buttons
We'll see you on the next one.
and some nice comments of positivity would be great. And we'll see you on the next one.